everyone, it's Alicia and welcome back into my kitchen. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere like me, I hope that you have a wonderful autumn equinox this year, and today's recipe is going to be the dessert that I'm going to be making in honor of the holiday. I'm going to be trying a new recipe for witch's apple pudding. Now, for those of us here in the States, what we call a pudding would be known throughout the rest of the English-speaking world as a custard, but this pudding isn't like that. This pudding is more of sort of almost like an apple pie where you make a filling with apples and spices and then you put a dough on top and bake it in the oven. I found this recipe on one of the websites that lists specific recipes for the Sabbats. I just typed in Wiccan autumn equinox recipes and this came up and it looked so delicious. I thought that's going to be our dessert for the holiday this year. And so with that, I will take you along as I show you how to make it. Let's get started. Okay, so here, as you can see, I have the filling, which is made of apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of honey, and I also, as I was slicing the apples, I put a little bit of lemon juice just to stop them from browning. And here is the topping, which, as you can see, is sort of a dough similar to biscuits or scones. And so what I'm going to do is put the topping on top of the apples, and then over here I've made this syrup, which is made of water, butter, sugar, and honey. And so once the dough is on top of the apples, I'm going to pour the syrup over everything. This is what the pudding looks like, all ready to go in the oven to bake. The dough to go on top was a little sticky, and it said in the recipe to just sort of dollop it on top. So that's what I did, and then I poured the hot honey syrup on top. And so now I'm going to bake this at 375 for 40 minutes. And the recipe also recommended to put the dish on a cookie sheet just in case any apple juices bubble over or anything like that. So without further ado, I'm going to put this pudding in the oven and I'll show it to you when it's done. And I wish you guys could smell the kitchen right now. It smells like warm honey and cinnamon and nutmeg. It smells like fall. So yeah, I can see why this was recommended as a recipe to make for the autumn equinox, to welcome in fall. So with that, this is going to go in the oven and I'll get back to you when it's all done. And here is the gorgeous apple pudding. It's been out of the oven for a few minutes. I let it sit here on the stove while I clean up the kitchen and washed the dishes. As you can see, the top has become a beautiful golden brown, and if I tap it, it sounds hollow like baked bread or biscuits typically sound. And if we get in a bit closer here, you can see the apple filling has bubbled up in a few places, and it smells delicious. Again, it smells like warm honey and apples and cinnamon. I cannot wait to try this for dessert tonight. And it's going to be accompanied, of course, by ice cream. I have some French vanilla ice cream in the freezer. I prefer French vanilla to regular vanilla just because I think it tastes creamier, and so I just prefer that when it comes to vanilla ice cream. And for dinner, I'm going to be making the ham slice that I shared the recipe for a few months ago. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. It's a ham slice baked with a glaze made from brown sugar and ginger and a little bit of pepper. To go with it, I'm making a butternut squash side dish, which I will share on my Instagram. So if you'd like the recipe for that, be sure to check out my Instagram and follow me there if you would like. And with that, the recipe for this beauty, as always, will be in the description below, as well as the links to all my other socials. So feel free to follow me if you would like to see more recipes and witchy videos and writing videos from me. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful autumn equinox, and may you be blessed as the wheel continues to turn, and blessed be.